when you come to Loughborough, there's so many different sports that we have on offer, whether you want to compete or whether you want to play recreationally. But our competitive side, we have our AU teams, so we hold taster sessions, so you can give things a go. And then if you want to, you can trial for the team. And then if you're successful on the team, you buy a membership and you compete for Loughborough in that sport.
Loughborough has been phenomenally successful at BUCS. BUCS is the British Universities and Colleges Sport Championships. So we have over 60 clubs that compete and train week in, week out. Thousands and thousands of students take part in the athletic union, and they all love to wear the kind of African violet purple shirt with pride and represent the university against other universities and against the best clubs in the country.
The buzz you get on Wednesday nights, the BUCS nights, just running out in front of all your friends, it's just a real buzz, walking through that tunnel, getting onto the pitch. Playing for Loughborough makes me feel really proud, just seeing the people that have been there, worn the shirt already, and what they're doing now. They're playing for England on the weekends, they're playing for the professional clubs.
Each athletic union club has their own student committee which help to run and facilitate their sport. It's really important for us that student development is just as much at the heart of what our athletic union clubs do, as well as the actual playing of sport. Everybody gets to use the same facilities here on campus. It's not like we've got facilities that are only for elite people or only for beginners. We all use the same facilities, tread on the same pitches, and we've got staff that are available to make sure that your experience is as good as it can be. We have an incredible array of coaching staff, performance support staff, so things like physio, strength and conditioning coaches that are always on hand to help people learn, develop and improve.
So the AU at Loughborough is just like completely different from any other university. The competitive side of it is really supported by the uni, and like the social side as well, alongside the competitive teams. Everyone seems to really be invested and come to support Loughborough when they're playing.
Loughborough will give you an incredible opportunity for sport, whatever your interest is, whatever level you want to be part of, and really have that life-shaping journey through university. This is the place that you can really develop and learn and enjoy yourself as well.
Hello, I'm Ali Oliver, Chief Executive of the children's charity, the Youth Sport Trust, and I'm really excited to share our new strategy with you, inspiring changemakers and building belonging. Children only have one childhood, and worryingly things have got really critical for their health and happiness. We are staring in the face of the next pandemic, where children are spending too much time online and not enough time playing together and playing with their friends. Unhappy, unhealthy children don't learn. When children don't learn, they don't achieve their potential in life, and we end up with a society that isn't fit for purpose. Sadly, this isn't new to us at the Youth Sport Trust. We have spent 27 years building brighter futures through the power of play and sport, changing lives for the better by getting young people active, playing together and experiencing the joy of movement. At the Youth Sport Trust, our vision is a future where every child enjoys the benefits that come from play and sport. And now there's never been a more important time for us to focus on this. Our strategy sets out to tackle this. Over the coming years, we'll harness the power of play and sport to help young people find a sense of belonging and raise awareness of the damaging impact of a life without play and sport. By helping young people feel a sense of belonging, we'll stop them being isolated, lonely, feeling anxious and bombarded by others constantly telling them how they should look, feel and be. We really need your support. A 4-year-old entering school this year will leave in 2035. They deserve a world where their health, happiness and well-being is prioritised. We're on a mission to try and create societal change, but we can't do that alone. We need a whole range of new change makers, teachers, families, young leaders themselves, politicians, the media, a range of people in public life who are equally concerned about the health and happiness of the next generation. So please join us, become a change maker, read our strategy and help us build a brighter future for young people through play and sport. Thank you.
There's so much respect for Loughborough because it generates good players but also like well-rounded people, and I think being here for 4 years I've really realised how much it's developed me as a person, not only as a badminton player.
The fact that it's on campus really helps with your sport because you've got the best facilities in the UK here, right at your fingertips.
So parasport is integrated through almost all of our offers at Loughborough. Of course, there are some sports where we need to have specialist provision for some para athletes, but overall most of our programmes are highly integrated so that you have disabled and non-disabled athletes able to train alongside each other. We've got fantastic facilities, fantastic coaches, fantastic support staff. Our alumni network extends throughout professional sport, and what that creates in the end is a Loughborough family which really is there around you and supporting you as you move through your journey.
As a scholar, I get free physio support, so I can see physio whenever I like and it's for free. I get free S&C, so I have a strength and conditioning coach that works with me and my coach. Then I can see a nutritionist, which again, he ties in with my strength and conditioning.
It's all quite individualised, so the coaches will sit down with you and discuss like what you want out of the programme, what are your priorities, and they'll build a kind of a schedule that will suit you and your needs.
It makes everything easy because they all talk to each other and then they can talk to my coach and then everything's just in one place, and so it's just, yeah, it's ideal, to be honest.
One of the things I'm proudest of is that the average marks of our performance athletes are higher than the university average almost every year. We really care about people's degrees and we support them and make modifications to both their sporting programme and their education programme so that they can genuinely do both.
The reputation of Loughborough, it's there for a reason. It's known as the best because it is the best.
So our facilities are fantastic and it's hard not to get blown away by them. But the thing I would really sell us on is the environment, the culture and the people that you'll be around. People genuinely trying to be the best they can be. We've got people competing internationally across all sorts of sports and you can't really fail but to be motivated and inspired by that.
Half an hour ago, winning the toss was Team Siver, qualifying automatically top of the group through to this final yesterday, and they have elected to field first. So they were bowling in the green shirts, in the navy blue Team Brunt, who qualified in that playoff game against Team Knight yesterday. Please welcome to the field Team Siver. And please welcome the opening batters for Team Brunt, Saren Smale and Kira Bowden. To open the bowling in the final from the pavilion end, Millie Taylor. And welcome to the live stream. It's the final of the cricket on day 3 of the school games here at the House of Grove Cricket Ground in Loughborough. A warm welcome wherever you are watching this live stream broadcast from. My name is Peter Selby, and I'll be bringing you not only the announcements in between the overs, but also commentary throughout this final. 20 overs aside, Team Siver winning the toss, electing to field first in the green shirts, navy blue of Team Brunt, who will be batting. Millie Taylor bowling first against Kira Bowden. At the non-strikers end, number 12, Saren Smale. Qualifying top was Team Siver. All 3 sides in this competition playing 2, winning 1, losing 1, so it went down to run rate, and Siver with their run rate highest than the others, with the likes of Darcy Carter, Maddie Ward, etc. Just accelerating their score in their win yesterday. Start by Millie Taylor. First 6 overs are the power play. So 2 fielders allowed outside of the circle. And after that it will be to 4. So important to get off to a good start. But equally, if you're the fielding side, if you can hold them to runs in this first few, then it's a real bonus to you as well. And in the moment, this is quite the start from Team Siver. We're going to have a maiden over to start with. Swept for what should be 2. Bit of a delay coming back for the second, but 2 runs. Still a very good start for Team Siver. Two runs coming from the first over, so 2 without loss. First 6 overs are part of the power play, so 2 fielders allowed outside of the circle. And then after the 6, there will be 4 allowed. So 2 without loss after the first, 20 overs per side. And to bowl from the Paula Radcliffe end, Lizzie Scott. So Lizzie Scott from the Paula Radcliffe end. So you've got a bit of pace into the attack, turn into the leg side. Should just be cut off for 1. Good fielding by Carter. He's got a huge throw as well. And off the mark is Smale. The wicket actually has moved from the camera position. We're actually just below the camera position. We'll be fielding at fine leg essentially at the moment. And the pitch has actually just moved to what we would say the left from our position. So slightly towards the leg side boundary for Bowden. Yesterday it was a huge boundary down there. Actually 1-6 was hit to that leg side boundary. A massive 6 from Josie Groves, who will be seen, I imagine, batting for Team Brunt at some point. Getting to the leg side. Could well be leg byes. No, played into the pad, so it will go down as runs. Scott into Smale. And again, just easy runs on the leg side. Oh dear, fired in by Carter. She's up for the final. Well, the 2 fielders on the leg side couldn't stop that 4. Went straight between them. And we have the first boundary of the final. Seven from that over, so the score now 9 without loss after 2. Millie Taylor to continue from the pavilion end. Taylor after her very good first over to continue, and she continues in the same vein with the first delivery of the 3rd over. The rain is still coming down here now. Weather-wise, we're expecting the best conditions today to be pretty much from now until when this game was due to be finished, and then there's a bit of rain this afternoon. But we've had a few heavy showers so far this morning. At the moment, so the rain is coming down. It is very bright though, so we're just catching the edge of a cloud, I reckon. Looking over to my left is where the rain and weather always comes from here. There are a few clouds around, but at the moment nothing to get the players off the field, and hopefully it stays that way. Nice little ramp shots. Whether the fielder can come round and cut it off or not. No. 4 runs. Nice invention from Bowden. Plenty of big hitting to come for Team Brunt. Josie Groves, Katie Jones, Ellie Anderson. Of course, Liberty Heap as well. It's been one of the stars really of the competition. There's no one backing up immediately, so there's going to be an overthrow. Smart work behind the stumps by Maddie Ward. And end of the over. 3 overs gone, 16 without loss. (16 without loss after 3 overs. And a change of bowling from the Paula Radcliffe end, Sydney Gorham. Gorham is the change of bowling, and that's just banged in short, pulled away for 4, given its just deserves really, actually. Put it down as a bit of a loosener, but quite easy, and I think anything banged in short in this damp pitch with the weather is just going to sit up nicely, and especially in the first 6 overs, it should really be pulled away. We'll cut away for 4. Smell doing just that. This time outside off stump, just hitting the fielder. Caught behind, good work again by Maddie Wood. There was a genuine noise there, and we're just waiting for Julia Jarvis to put her finger up. And up it went, first wicket to the final. It goes to Gorham, it goes to Siver, and Brunt 20 for 1. Sarah Smell goes for 7, and the score now 20-1. New batter for Team Brunt, number 1, Liberty Heap. So the first wicket of the final goes down, and Smell goes for 7. Wicket for Gorham, and Liberty Heap is at the crease. I'll just wait for the first ball to be delivered before I say what I'm going to say. It's a misfield, chance for a single, nope, sent back. Obviously with this final, afterwards there'll be awards presented, etc. And just coming into this final day, if I was going to pick a player who possibly would be the player of the tournament so far, I think at the moment, possibly Liberty Heap would be that player. It's hit the highest score so far, 62, but not just because of that, taking wickets as well, catches, big shot down the field, and it's 4 runs, pure power and timing from Heap. But at the moment, I think she would be possibly a front runner, but of course the final would go a long way to deciding that, and I'm sure she would substitute any individual award for a win for Team Brunt. 24 for 1. So after only 2 runs coming from the first over, started to accelerate, helped by a wide. Brilliant work in the deep making sure it's just the 2 runs instead of 4, and end of the over, 27 for 1 after 4. So the first wicket of the final going in that over. 27 for 1 now after 4. 27 for 1 after 4. And a change of bowling from the pavilion end. Darcy Carter. So Darcy Carter into the attack. Misfield in the deep, so it's going to come back for 2. Carter. I've been saying fielding on the boundary is exceptional. I say the biggest arm in the competition. But it's the usual case when you've got someone with a gun arm when it comes to bowling. Likes to try and rip it. It's going to go for 4. Although fairly fired in, but fired in short, and it really helped actually Bowden, who had the idea of playing a standing sweep shot, if you'd like, reverse sweep, almost a switch, and it's ran down quite easily for 4. Got a fielder deep backwards square, and then the fielder also actually deep mid wicket as well, so quite interesting. The 2 fielders outside of the circle, square of the wicket. So if anything's banged in short by Carter, even though it's not the slowest of spin that we'll see, anything into the offside, it should just be runs. There we go again, cut off by the fielder at Gully, but if it was to go past her, again, there's no cover at all anywhere on the offside, apart from those fielders inside the circle. Hence the reason another down the leg side, switch, and 4 more runs. So they might want to just readdress this field here, whether the fielder's going to go back. Third man on the boundary. No, they're not. They're going to keep it as it is. They're going to employ a third man, but it's going to be inside the circle. Turn square, where those 2 fielders on the boundary will converge and sort this out. The problem when you only allow 2 fielders outside of the circle, and if you have a plan and it slightly doesn't go right from the bowler's point of view, it's just easy runs. Now out comes the fielder from third man position into mid wicket, so there's even more of a gap now. Carter's got to get this right. Driven through the covers and for 4. Best shot of the final so far. .42 for 1 after 5. So 1 over them remaining of the power play. 42 for 1. Change of bowling for Team Sivir from the Paul and Ratcliffe end, Poppy J. Watkins. Change of bowling, Poppy J. Watkins into the attack from the Paul and Ratcliffe end. First ball just turned behind square straight to Lizzie Scott, standing in front of us. 42 for 1, final over of the power play. And so far it's been roughly around 50 runs. I'd say par, but it's what teams would want, and that's a wicket. The attempted ramp missed, and it dislodges one of the bails. Bowden out for 24, 42 for 2. Kira Bowden goes for 24, and the score now 42 for 2. New batter for Team Brunt, number 7, Jodie Grucock. So the invention didn't quite work there for Kira Bowden, going for the ramp, missing out, and being bowled by Poppy J. Watkins. Grucock then, who was open for Team Brunt at the crease, gets off the mark with her first delivery. Another wicket. Lizzie Scott, who had a good piece of fielding with the first ball of this over. Second ball was the wicket, and now with the fourth of what's turned to a very useful over for Team Sivir from Poppy J. Watkins. And it's a very smart catch. That came pretty quick to her. 3 down now on Team Brunt. Liberty Heap goes for 10, and the score for Team Brunt now 43 for 3. New batter to the crease for Team Brunt, Josie Groves. Huge wicket. Liberty Heap goes for 10. 43 for 3. Still inside the power play. And speaking of power, Josie Groves at the crease. It's going to be a wide. And at the crease slightly earlier than I think she thought and probably hoped. inside the power play, 44 for 3. So in terms of score, not too bad, but 3 wickets going down. But looking at the wickets, Seren Smale, Kira Bowden, Liberty Heat, it's 3 big wickets. Shot by Groves into the leg side, and 4 runs. That's just pure power, picked up lovely by Groves, second ball. So that's the destructive power of Josie Groves on show, 48. Very interesting. See how this last few balls go in this over, end of the power play. And a good final ball by Poppy J. Watkins. 2 wickets coming from that over, 48 for 3. Let's score 48 for 3 then after the 6. And the signal made by umpire Amy Clark then to signify the end of the power play. So 4 fielders now allowed outside of the circle. 48 for 3 after 6. And a change of bowling returning, this time from the pavilion end, Sydney Gorham. So 48 for 3 after the 6, after the power play. Gorham then from the pavilion end. Brucock on strike. Now, from an overall match position, 48 for 3 after the power play, I would say that's pretty 50-50. I would say that's, in terms of runs, that's not too far off being a par score. It's not bad. But then if you look at the fielding team, Team Siver, and you say you're going to take 3 wickets in the power play, I think they would have taken that as well. So I think at the moment we're in a very delicately poised game. That's a beautiful shot by Brucock. Running off the bat, it might not go for 4. That's good fielding, slightly holding up. They're going to come back for another here. That's excellent running as well between the wickets. Running 3 runs, so the 50 up now, 51 for 3. Yeah, just back to the overall match conditions. I think Siver actually would be quite happy as well with taking those 3 wickets, especially with the likes of Liberty Heap going. So I think it's quite an evenly poised match at the moment. Grucock and Groves. Brunt will be looking for Groves to keep the score ticking over. Hammered down the ground, wasn't quite picked up by Poppy J. Watkins. If she did cleanly, there would have been a possible shy at the stumps, and I think Groves probably would have been short from a direct. Plenty of noise coming from the hockey. Some terrible chance actually from the hockey. I mean, they need to work on them. My word. It's not where you want to be watching at the moment with that sort of thing going on. Boring chance. You want to be here at the cricket. Got a right final on the go. Just pushed into the leg side. Easy single there. It's all very well having the big boundaries from Groves, but at the other end, Grucock is one of the best actually so far in this tournament of just nudging and nurdling the singles, running hard between the wickets, and of course boundaries as well. Plenty of invention, really good wrists. Just watching the ball onto the bat, running it down behind square and also in the offside. There's Groves going big. Fielders between them, and it's just cut out. That's good hands from Lola Harris down there. Ball seemed to hang in the air for an awful long time. You've got a deep mid wicket and also a long on. Went between them. Quite fortunate actually there for Groves. came back for a second. So the difference in styles between these two batters is clear to see. It's a lovely ball. Straight and pace taken off. End of the over. 56 for 3. 56 for 3 after 7. Poppy J. Watkins to continue from the Paula Radcliffe end. 56 for 3 after 7. James breaking out all the sirens and all sorts from the music desk. What's the name of that we hear at T20s around the world? What's it? We don't know what it's called. We don't know what it's called, but we've had that. That's the first time. I don't mind it, actually. In goes Watkins, turned into the leg side by Groves. And they're going to come back for 2. No, being sent back, which I think ultimately was probably the right decision, actually. Yeah, in terms of world cricket annoyance, that actually for me is not one of them. If it happens all the time, then maybe. But in terms of trumpets, there's a lot worse trumpets out there. Mentioning no names, the Barmy Army. I'm not a fan of the trumpet. No, I'd move stand. I would do. Stand outside. Oh, I'll get involved with chance, but it's just the trumpet. Anyway, Grewcock on strike. Huge gap through mid-wicket where she tries to turn it, but it was too wide. It goes down as a wide. Massive gap in mid-wicket. There's a deep mid-wicket right in front of the scoreboard. You've got a square leg as well. But also, you've got a long on, so there's just a huge mass of space on the leg side, and for a batter like Grewcock, quite surprised actually that mid-wicket isn't actually inside the circle. Exactly where the ball's just straight gone to, down there. So he's easy single, maybe even 2. But Grewcock, she can hit some big shots, but compared to Groves, I would have had a mid-wicket. I would have gone straight to them for that shot, but you've got the sweeper. You could have had square leg on the boundary sweeping behind her, but anyway, they go back for Groves on the leg side. That's no surprise. Into the pants and the ball rolls safe. Big shot by Groves down the ground. Oh, it's dropped. Well, that could prove to be very, very expensive. Dropped long on. Grewcock then on strike, and again, big gap through mid-wicket where she's looking. Four runs to Grewcock. I think they're going to have to sort this field for the next over. 66 for 3. .66 for 3. after 8 overs. Returning from the pavilion end, Millie Taylor. So Millie Taylor, who bowled the first over, actually went for only two runs off the final ball of the first over. In, straight down the ground. This is going to be 6 or 4. It's going to be the big one. 6. Groves getting underneath that, and all the time, more and more runs scored by Groves. The drop by Harris at long on in the previous over might become very, very costly. So Groves on to 18, 72 now. Quick call of yes, and a slight barge between the two, the bowler and batter Grucock, but 72, 73 now for 3. So Grucock on strike. And plenty of room through mid-wicket. Harris is going to come up into the circle from long on, which actually will be obviously off now for Grucock. So mid-off, there's a long on. And again, protection deep mid-wicket. There's a square leg, but still on the leg side, anything on the pads should be punished. There's the gap. Easily just dropped in there for a quick single. Get Groves back on strike. Of course, now with Groves and her power, sometimes the field doesn't actually matter. Fielders start to spread out on the leg side, back to the boundary. Goes Harris, so long on, long off. Deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, all on the boundary. Down to Harris at long on. Once again, a quick single. In comes Carter. You're not going to take that arm on, but an easy single just to rotate the strike and keep the scoreboard ticking over. End of the over. 76 for 3 after 9. 9 overs gone of Team Brunt's innings, and they are 76 for 3. Change of bowling for Team Siver from the Paula Radcliffe end, Lola Harris. So in comes Harris. Now, Grucock there, turning it into the leg side. There's your mid-wicket. Putting pressure on. Florence Miller just took a really smart catch there yesterday. So there's the lack of now the easy single to rotate the strike. Straight back. Oh, it's dropped by Lola Harris. It's 2, unfortunately, she's put down now off her own bowling. And I have to think that Grucock would have easily turned that into the leg side, but now the fielder's at mid-wicket. She can't do that, so she has to go straighter. And this time it beats the fielder and will run for 4, but shouldn't really be at the crease. But she is, and she's scoring boundaries. And the scoring continues for Team Brunt. (84-3), and it will be the halfway stage after this Harris over, so we'll get a good indication of possible score Team Brunt can get. They may want 2 here. They should come for 2 quite easily. Groves just a slight pause, but it's throw to the other end. Nice partnership here between these two. Came in when the score was 43. Now it's 82. Krukok on strike again. Over mid-wicket. Should be cut off. So just the single. Throw from the deep, 83, so the partnership of 40. Field scatters for Groves. First time Harris to bowl to Groves. Leg side boundary covered by 3. Into the offside. End of the over, halfway stage, 83-3. At the halfway stage of Team Brunt's innings, 83-3. Millie Taylor from the pavilion end. So the halfway stage, 83-3. A good first 10 overs for Team Brunt. Good early call. And she's safe. So that will go down as good running by Groves. Wants to get on strike. She actually hasn't had the strike much in the last 2 overs, Josie Groves. Each batter on 20. 84-3, so you're looking really overall the par score, anything 150 north is where you want to be going here as a score. So 84-3 after 10 is certainly looking in that direction, north of 150. Oh, wicket! That's a huge wicket. Groves goes. Taylor with the wicket. Groves goes for 20. 84-4. Team Brunt's 84-4, with Josie Groves going for 20. New batter for Team Brunt, Ellie Anderson. Well, that's a big wicket. The destructive Groves goes for 20, 84-4. So as we got to the halfway stage and we were looking at the partnership of nearly 50 between Krukok and Groves, thinking the score above 150 was well within their reach, maybe even looking towards the 170 mark really, as the rain just starts to come down again here in Loughborough. 84-4. In comes Anderson, another big hitter, but Siva will be delighted with that. She's just got back in her crease. Excellent work from Maddie Ward behind the stumps. 84-4. And the pendulum, that was, I said, really in Brunt's favour. I think really has now gone back towards somewhere level. And still put it down as a decent start from Brunt, but that is a big wicket. Taylor in again. Cut past point, sweeper Carter. on the full from the boundary. Another quick run again from Anderson. Good take again by Ward, and to be fairly close. Good run in. Harris then from the Paula Redcliffe end, continuing. Grucock on strike, she's on 21. 88 for 4 after 11. Chipped high, safe. And just a single. Half chance there for Harris, driven by Grucock. Still the score rotating, but without the big hitting Groves, somewhat slowing down, but still 93 for 4 after 12. .93 for 4 after 12. Change of bowling for Team Siver from the pavilion end. Caris Pavely. Pavely into the attack, and second delivery is going to run through for 4. 4 buys. So approaching 3 figures then for Team Brunt. Pavely in again. This time a little bit of bat and an early call from Anderson brings the single. Goes down as a leg bye. 97 for 4. Quite a big cloud actually going behind the Paula Radcliffe Stadium, the far end of the ground. The wind just starts to pick up, and from where the weather's coming from, it does look a little bit grey. Hammond through the offside. Well, takes a flick up off one of the pitches on the edge of the square. Could have caught out Carter. Had one yesterday actually on that pitch. It had a cover on it, and it flipped up past the fielder. Could have been quite nasty. Could have worn it. 98 for 4. Over the top this time, but Carter will do exactly the same and keep it down to just a single. 99 for 4. As the incredibly boring chants from the hockey raise their voice again. Played into the ground, no run. And ended the over, 13 overs and 98 for 4. "13 overs gone and 98 for 4. Lola Harris to continue from the Paula Radcliffe end. "100 for 4 the score. The scoreboard just having a little bit of a delay to it in the last couple of overs. So again, for those watching the live stream, just to give you a little bit of insight here, as Lola bowls to Grucock. Back to the bowler. They're going to take a single here. That's good running. Yeah, I'm going on the scoreboard, by the way, from the watchers of the YouTube back home. So if there is a slight discrepancy between me saying 98 for 4 and it's 100 for 4, it's just because there's a delay with the scoreboard. Keeping count of the overs, though, myself. Cries of "come on, Lola" from the field. As the game just is in that natural lull period you get during even 20-over games, where the strike's just being rotated between, say, overs 10 and 15 before then another acceleration. Anderson on strike, 6 not out, 28 to Grucock. Heel for a leg before, and a wicket. Anderson goes, trying to sweep, and kneeling down in front of the stumps. Given out by the umpire. 5 down now, Team Brunt. Team Brunt now 5 down, 103 for 5 after 13. Ellie Anderson goes for 6. A new batter for Team Brunt, Lexi Cantrell. So, wickets for Lola Harris, 6 for Anderson. She goes. Cantrell to the crease, and huge big backlift, and no run from the final ball of the over. 103 for 5 after 14. $103 for 5 after 14 overs. Caris Pavley to continue from the pavilion end. 103 for 5. Change of bowling for Team Siver then from the pavilion end will be number 1, Darcy Carter. $14 overs gone, then 103 for 5. Carter into the attack. Dug out well. Good start from Carter. Now 103 for 5. Rotating the strike, still with overs in hand, but they just want to start to move now, Team Brunt. Over the top. Just for a single. Or a chip. So 104. Again, 160 you'll be looking for from this position. 5 down though. Couple more here, especially if Grucott goes. She's 29. Team Siver will be looking to maybe restrict them for possibly around 130. Who knows? Game very delicately poised at the moment. Nicely turned away, but again for us. Oh no, it's gone straight through the fielder, and it's going to be 4. 4 runs. I was going to say cut off for a single, unfortunately for Hannah Hardwick down there. That's 4. That's a much needed boundary actually. It's the first boundary for a while. And 108 for 5. Again, this innings, with the amount of wickets gone, very delicately poised. Big shot, Hardwick underneath this. And she cuts it off this time. Good fielding. Come through for another. Good run in between the wickets and good fielding by Hardwick, especially after the mistake with the previous delivery. Keeper Ward only really appealing for that. Huge swipe. Down the ground from Anderson. And end of the over. $111 for 5 after 15 overs. Returning from the Paula Radcliffe end, Poppy J. Watkins. Poppy J. Watkins returns from the Paula Radcliffe end, returns with a wide. She's got a couple of wickets to her name. 112 for 5 after 15. Big shot down the ground. And Cantrell. With another boundary. I said Anderson earlier. She's gone. It's Cantrell and Grucock. Cantrell on to 14 now. At 13. Number 14 on 13. 29 for Grucock. Cantrell on strike. Open stance. And another boundary as Brunt just starts and notch things up at 2. All 3 notches towards really hitting out here in the final 5. And it's down at the moment to Lexi Cantrell. Is doing the damage. Quick fire 17. .123 for 5. Over the top again from Cantrell, and another 4. 1 and over so far for Team Brunt, and it's at the hands of Lexi Cantrell. She's on to 21 already. Yeah, definitely Yorkshire puddings, James, after this. Excellent slower delivery from Poppy J. Watkins. After being hit for 3 fours consecutively. 127 for 5. Yeah, beef, lamb, all the works. It's the pleasure of the school games when you're from this area. Staying with your parents, my word, after the game. Sunday roast to die for. Down the ground. And the same result. 4 fours in this over, all from Lexi Cantrell. Destructive batting. Has that pendulum swung back towards Brunt? I think so. Now, what can they do in the field here? They've pushed long on and long off right back. They've brought in deep backward square into the circle. There's a deep mid-wicket, but at the moment, it doesn't matter where the fielders are. Lexi's finding the gaps. Now this is going straight to deep mid-wicket. Oh, it's caught on the boundary. Excellent catch, very comfortable for the safe hands of Carter. And that pendulum may have swung back towards Siver again. Cantrell goes for an excellent 25. And, well, she caught the one fielder out there on the boundary, straight to her. And her fantastic innings comes to an end. Lexi Cantrell goes for 25, and Team Brunt now 131 for 6. New batter for Team Brunt, number 3, Katie Jones. Team Brunt's 131 for 6 after 16 overs. Change of bowling for Team Siver from the pavilion end, Hannah Hardwick. .16 overs gone, 131 for 6. Hardwick into the attack. Beautiful shot. She's going to bounce short. Fired back in by Poppy J. Watkins, just short of her at mid-on. 132 for 6. 30 now to Jodie Grucock, joined by Katie Jones. Lexi Cantrell out for that fabulous 25. Really motoring, just one fielder out on that leg side boundary. Straight to her. We could be looking back in a couple of hours' time at that wicket as the one that possibly changed the game, because pretty much every ball was going to the boundary. And if she got to within anywhere of the 150s with a few overs to go, we'd be looking at 180 possibly. At the moment, 132 for 6. After 16. Lovely shot. Is it going to run for 4? Yes, it does. Just waiting for the delivery and letting the pace from Hardwick on the ball just run off the bat. Beautiful shot from Katie Jones. Great way to bring up and get off the mark her 4. 30 at the other end for Grucock, who's watched the likes of Groves and Anderson and Cantrell hit the big shots. Now, I imagine they're going to just change the field here with the invention of Groves. Jones with Grucock as well. Third man in onto the boundary. That's a very handy position actually. Fine leg as well is out. Drops into the leg side. They're going to come back for a second run here. It's going to be close. And a run out. Katie Jones going for the second. Second wasn't on. And 6 down becomes 7. 136 for 7. .136 for 7 as Katie Jones goes for 4. New batter for Team Brunt, number 9, Katie Donovan. So Katie Donovan walks out to, I've got a brand new combine harvester, for only reasons that Katie knows. It's requested by her, so who are we to say anything different? So anyway, 137 for 7. And again, Donovan joining Grucock, who's had many different batting partners since she's been in. Shot by Donovan. What a way to get off the mark. We had that with Katie Jones only a few minutes ago, but this more orthodox. Beautiful shot. Past point. And even though the wickets have fallen fairly regular, the scoring is carried on. 141 for 7. Still be looking towards the 160 plus mark. End of the over, 141 for 7 after 17. 141 for 7 after 17 overs. And to return from the Paula Radcliffe end, number 11, Lizzie Scott. Scott into the attack. Excellent first delivery. Grucock on strike. So 17 balls remaining. 141 for 7. So we're looking definitely at north of 160. High and should be caught. Couple of juggles, but a safe catch in the end. And Grucock goes. She goes for 30. 8 down now, 141 for 8. And still with 16 deliveries to go. What Team Brunt do not want to do is get into a position where they're all out. Team Brunt 141 for 8. Jodie Grucock goes for 30. New batter for Team Brunt, number 6, Ariva Pindoria. So Pindoria then at the crease, and she will be facing Lizzie Scott. We'll be wanting to at least get a runner ball here for the final 14 or so deliveries. I'll be disappointed not to get 160, Team Brunt. Grucock, the cornerstone innings, gone for 30. And obviously, if you're a Siver fan, if they can keep them below 150, that'll be a real result, a real skip into their step as they leave the field, I'd imagine. It's at one stage when looking 180 possibly was on the cards. It's just going to be the one. Oh no, Pindoria slightly interested there to come back for a second. Certainly the right call, just the one. As the sun just starts to come out, actually, it's here in Loughborough, although the clouds are still very menacing. Now Donovan on strike. Plenty of room square of the wicket, where she's tried to flick that towards and fails to make contact. 2 overs to go. Two overs remaining then of Team Brunt's innings, 142 for 8 after 18 overs. Hannah Hardwick to continue from the pavilion end. So 12 deliveries remaining, 142 for 8. Pindoria on strike. Hardwick to bowl. Just pretty full, pretty straight. Dropped into the leg side, quick single. Team Siver will be not wanting any errors in the field in this final couple of overs. Donovan will want the strike compared to Pindoria with respect. Bigger hitter. There's going to be some boundaries in these final couple of overs. Fielder just moving from third man to fine leg. Turning to the leg side, exactly where that fielder's gone. She's going to have a work cut out though, and it goes for 4. Well, that's a bit of a bonus there for Team Brunt, but turned away nicely by Donovan. Brunt will want Donovan on strike, certainly for the majority of these deliveries to come. 147 now for 8, every run vital. And it's quite psychological now. They get above 150. If they get to 160, I think Brunt will be fairly happy with that. Hammered down into towards point, no run. Fine leg comes forward. Now square leg goes back. Just for that shot which brought the boundary. Hardwick into Donovan. Oh, an inside edge, and that's 4 runs and a real bonus for Team Brunt. And that will bring the 150 up. 151 for 8. Nothing anyone in Team Civic could do about that. Even if fine leg was actually back on the boundary, she wouldn't have been able to cut that off. 151 now for 8. So a decent over here for Team Brunt. Quick single called by Reva Pindoria. Good running as well. That'll put Donovan on strike for the final over, depending on what happens with this. There's 1 ball to come in this over. So Pindoria on strike. I wonder if she'll take a single here, actually, if it's on offer. I'll be surprised if they say no. High and caught. Caught and bowled for Hannah Hardwick. Pindoria goes, so regardless, it will still be Donovan on strike in the final over. 9 down now, Team Brunt. Team Brunt now 9 down, 152 for 9. With 1 over to go, new batter to the crease, final batter for Team Brunt, Grace Johnson. So the final over of Team Brunt's innings, and it will be Donovan on strike on 13. Lizzie Scott to bowl the final over. Turn down leg side for the single. They're going to come back for 2. Nope. 153 then. This being the final wicket. New batter Grace Johnson. So 153 for 9. Anything here now a bonus for Team Brunt. They've reached the 150 target. They'll love to get to that 160. with Donovan at the non-strikers end, they may just have a bit of a chat here. Going for the big shots, it might just be worth dropping the bat on the ball and running through for a quick single, get Donovan on strike for the final few deliveries. Straight down the ground, and well, Grace Johnson says no, I've got the shots. Hammered down the ground, beautiful shot, 157 for 9. Scotton again to Johnson, bagged in short, turned behind the keeper, and 4 more. Well, there's the 160 up, 161 for 9. Consecutive boundaries for Johnson. Bit of bat on that as well. So she moves on to 8. My plan of rotating the strike. She's throwing that back in her face big time. High, and this could be the end of the innings and courts. So 161 all outs deep inside the final over. Target of 162 for Team Siver. Team Brunt all out for 161. So 162 then the target for Team Siver. Let's have a big round of applause please for our fielding team, Team Siver. And with their total of 161 all-outs, Team Brunt. Team Siver's reply then will start in around about 15 minutes time, and 162 the target to win the 2022 school games. Plenty of refreshments available here at the school games for those spectators in the deck chairs. Just behind you to the left, you can see the big hedge splitting the cricket and the hockey. There is a gap in the fence there, and you can see the door. If you go through that door, then you'll find refreshments. So through the door, ask one of the stewards and they'll direct you to the refreshments near the hockey, just to behind you on your left-hand side. That's where you can find refreshments here at the school games.
When you come to Loughborough, there's so many different sports that we have on offer, whether you want to compete or whether you want to play recreationally. But our competitive side, we have our AU teams, so we hold taster sessions, so you can give things a go. And then if you want to, you can trial for the team. And then if you're successful on the team, you buy a membership and you compete for Loughborough in that sport.
Loughborough has been phenomenally successful at BUCS. BUCS is the British Universities and Colleges Sport Championships. So we have over 60 clubs that compete and train week in, week out. Thousands and thousands of students take part in the athletic union, and they all love to wear the kind of African violet purple shirt with pride and represent the university against other universities and against the best clubs in the country.
The buzz you get on Wednesday nights, the Bucks nights, just running out in front of all your friends, it's just a real buzz, walking through that tunnel, getting onto the pitch. Playing for Loughborough makes me feel really proud, just seeing the people that have been there, worn the shirt already, and what they're doing now. They're playing for England on the weekends, they're playing for the professional clubs.
Each athletic union club has their own student committee which help to run and facilitate their sport. It's really important for us that student development is just as much at the heart of what our athletic union clubs do, as well as the actual playing of sport. Everybody gets to use the same facilities here on campus. It's not like we've got facilities that are only for elite people or only for beginners. We all use the same facilities, tread on the same pitches, and we've got staff that are available to make sure that your experience is as good as it can be. We have an incredible array of coaching staff, performance support staff, so things like physio, strength and conditioning coaches that are always on hand to help people learn, develop and improve.
So the AU at Loughborough is just like completely different from any other university. The competitive side of it is really supported by the uni, and like the social side as well, alongside the competitive teams. Everyone seems to really be invested and come to support Loughborough when they're playing.
Loughborough will give you an incredible opportunity for sport, whatever your interest is, whatever level you want to be part of, and really have that life-shaping journey through university. This is the place that you can really develop and learn and enjoy yourself as well.
Hello, I'm Ali Oliver, Chief Executive of the children's charity, the Youth Sport Trust, and I'm really excited to share our new strategy with you, inspiring changemakers and building belonging. Children only have one childhood, and worryingly things have got really critical for their health and happiness. We are staring in the face of the next pandemic, where children are spending too much time online and not enough time playing together and playing with their friends. Unhappy, unhealthy children don't learn. When children don't learn, they don't achieve their potential in life, and we end up with a society that isn't fit for purpose. Sadly, this isn't new to us at the Youth Sport Trust. We have spent 27 years building brighter futures through the power of play and sport, changing lives for the better by getting young people active, playing together and experiencing the joy of movement. At the Youth Sport Trust, our vision is a future where every child enjoys the benefits that come from play and sport. And now there's never been a more important time for us to focus on this. Our strategy sets out to tackle this. Over the coming years, we'll harness the power of play and sport to help young people find a sense of belonging and raise awareness of the damaging impact of a life without play and sport. By helping young people feel a sense of belonging, we'll stop them being isolated, lonely, feeling anxious and bombarded by others constantly telling them how they should look, feel and be. We really need your support. A 4-year-old entering school this year will leave in 2035. They deserve a world where their health, happiness and well-being is prioritised. We're on a mission to try and create societal change, but we can't do that alone. We need a whole range of new change makers, teachers, families, young leaders themselves, politicians, the media, a range of people in public life who are equally concerned about the health and happiness of the next generation. So please join us, become a change maker, read our strategy and help us build a brighter future for young people through play and sport. Thank you.
There's so much respect for Loughborough because it generates good players but also like well-rounded people, and I think being here for 4 years I've really realised how much it's developed me as a person, not only as a badminton player. The fact that it's on campus really helps with your sport because you've got the best facilities in the UK here, right at your fingertips.
So parasport is integrated through almost all of our offers at Loughborough. Of course, there are some sports where we need to have specialist provision for some para-athletes, but overall, most of our programmes are highly integrated so that you have disabled and non-disabled athletes able to train alongside each other. We've got fantastic facilities, fantastic coaches, fantastic support staff. Our alumni network extends throughout professional sport, and what that creates in the end is a Loughborough family, which really is there around you and supporting you as you move through your journey.
As a scholar, I get free physio support, so I can see physio whenever I like and it's for free. I get free S&C, so I have a strength and conditioning coach that works with me and my coach. Then I can see a nutritionist, which again, he ties in with my strength and conditioning.
It's all quite individualised, so the coaches will sit down with you and discuss like what you want out of the programme, what are your priorities, and they'll build a kind of a schedule that will suit you and your needs.
It makes everything easy because they all talk to each other and then they can talk to my coach and then everything's just in one place, and so it's just, yeah, it's ideal, to be honest.
One of the things I'm proudest of is that the average marks of our performance athletes are higher than the university average almost every year. We really care about people's degrees and we support them and make modifications to both their sporting programme and their education programme so that they can genuinely do both.
The reputation of Loughborough, it's there for a reason. It's known as the best because it is the best.
So our facilities are fantastic and it's hard not to get blown away by them. But the thing I would really sell us on is the environment, the culture and the people that you'll be around. People genuinely trying to be the best they can be. We've got people competing internationally across all sorts of sports and you can't really fail but to be motivated and inspired by that.
Open in the bowling for Team Brunt from the pavilion end, Ellie Anderson. So welcome back to the live stream, and it's the final innings of the 2022 Score Games, and Team Brunt in the navy blue shirts in the field, defending their total of 161. They were bowled out with only, I think, a couple of balls to go in their innings. 161, and Team Civet with 162 then as the target. Anderson in to bowl. Watched there by the opening batter, Jemima Spence. Non-strikers end, Captain Florence Miller. So 162 the target. I reckon at one stage Team Brunt were looking at 180, but then with 3 overs to go, I think 150 would have been a decent score. So overall, 161, I think, is about par, maybe just 5 or 6 runs above that. It's very, very even. Civet with the first 6 overs being the power play. Some big hitters in their side. Pavley, Scott, of course Darcy Carter. That's all to come. Straight to Liberty Heat. Cover. Yet to score then. Excellent start by Anderson. Down to meet it, and lovely flick through the leg side, and that's 4 runs. I say a flick, lent on it, but it was the footwork. It was very quick to the pitch of the ball, and a beautiful 4 from Spence. And end of the over, 5 coming from the first. Five runs coming off the first over. So 5 without loss after the first. Of course, the first 6 overs, again, the power play. So 2 fielders only allowed outside of the circle. And then the 4 once the first 6 overs have been bowled. Bowling from the Paula Radcliffe end, Josie Groves. So Josie Groves then from the Paula Radcliffe end, 5 without loss. Fielder out on the deep mid-wicket boundary, also long on. Down the leg side, that's going to be a wide. Actually, Florence Miller might be slightly disappointed not to have just helped that slightly high. There was a square leg, but anything over her. It's going to be 4 runs. Well, a wicket with the third delivery. First two, one down leg side, the other one outside off stump, but that was the Goldilocks delivery, just right. And a very, very big wicket then to start with. Miller goes without scoring the scorers, without bothering the scorers, should I say. 6 for 1. First wicket goes down then, 6 for 1 now Team Siver. New batter for Team Siver, Maddie Ward. Yeah, big wicket. A bit of a surprise as well, actually, with the first two deliveries. Again, down the leg side, outside off stump. When she let go of that delivery, that got the wickets. It didn't look like it was going to be a wicket-taking delivery. Miller actually just caught in about 3 or 4 different minds what to do. Go back, rock back and pull it through the leg side. Go back and slap it through the onside. The offside, it's and then in the end, did neither. That's an excellent delivery now. Turn, brilliant length as well, bringing Ward forward. Take from keeper. Katie Jones got the gloves on. And again, on the money. There's Groves. 6 for 1. Now the target was 162. It is up there, and if you do get maybe just caught behind the run rate, it can turn into that's quite a total possibly. If you do get behind the rates, it's going to be runs down the leg side. They go down probably as buys, yep, by a signal, but you go to the total. Yeah, it's quite an honest total, I suppose you'd say. If you're looking at 135, 140, if you do get slightly behind, then you can recover in over and a half. But 162, you can't get too far behind the run rate because all of a sudden you will start needing 10 and over. Good reach forward by Spence to keep that down. And end of ultimately a very successful over for Team Brunt. Eight for 1 after 2. And to continue from the pavilion end, Ellie Anderson. Well, an attempted ramp actually came off of pads. I'm not too sure how that's not careered into the stumps as well. It's going to go down as leg buys. In between the stumps and the keeper, only missing by inches. Maddie Ward on strike. Good innings yesterday to get Siver into the final. Leg side, but no wide given. No automatic wides, by the way, down leg side. If those viewers on the live stream, very good explanation yesterday by Amy Clark, who's standing tall umpiring this over. Square leg is Julia Jarvis. Basically, it's where your hip is when you're taking guard. That's the line. And if you then decide to, say, move forward across your stumps and it just then misses your hip down leg side, it won't go as a wide because it's not where the initial line was when you took guard. That's the line that they'll be using. Cut square is going to go for just a couple. The delivery by Anderson to end the over. 11 for 1. After 3 overs. Josie Groves to continue from the Paula Radcliffe end. So Groves from the Radcliffe end now. Her first over was a real mixed bag. Some cracking deliveries, 1 or 2 down leg and outside off as you are going to get, but got the wicket with an absolute cracker and very nearly with the next ball as well. Fuller delivery. Down leg side, given the treatment, and 4 runs, just straight down leg and easily turned behind with the field inside the circle. Four runs, couple of boundaries from the over. Needed runs as well. Up to 20 now with a couple of overs to go the power play. Now want to possibly even put another 20 on really. (24-1) after 4. Change of bowling for Team Brunt from the pavilion end, Sophie Morris. So a change of bowling. Sophie Morris from the pavilion end. 20 for 1, so a good start from Team Brunt. Keeping the score down. Taking the 1 wicket as well. We're looking to get towards 40 after these 6 overs. Push for a single. Dug out for a single. Direct hit. Nothing from the umpire, Junior Jarvis. But singles, I think Brunt will mind. Try and cut them out if possible with the amount of fielders inside of the circle, but the lack of boundaries is quite telling. So 2 from the over so far. Now James in the final. That's the biggest plane we've had so far, actually the whole weekend, taken off from East Midlands. It's a big one. Down the ground, met it on the full, but still go down as a dot ball. Now that's banking over to the left, so that's going to go Mediterranean way. Over the top. There's a fielder. And he cuts it off on the bounce. So it's just the single. As the plane disappears into the low grey clouds here in Loughborough. Thankfully no rain at the moment. Yeah, southern Portugal, James. Nice one. Pushed into the offside. The misfield won't come to anything. And another very good over for Brunt. Sivert might need to get a march on in this final power play over. .24 for 1 after 5. And a change of bowling for Team Brunt from the Paula Radcliffe end, Grace Johnson. So Grace Johnson replaces Josie Groves. 24 for 1 after 5, so final over of the power play. Score only 24. After the power play, Team Brunt were around about 50. Clipped away, and it should run for 4. It will do. Final over of the fielding restrictions. And Civil will need a few more boundaries. Don't want to be caught behind the run rates at the moment. Readdress that after this over, I feel. Plenty of big hitting to come and classy batters for Team Sivert, so maybe going a bit early on that. 28 for 1. Fielder goes onto the boundary. Deep backward square. Sweeper on the offside, that's through mid-wicket. It's not going to run for 4. But they're going to come back for second. High, should be caught, and is caught. Big wicket. Maddie Ward goes. She goes for 18, and Siva 2 down. Second wicket then for Team Brunt. It's Siva who are 30 for 2. And Maddie Ward goes for 18. New batter for Team Siva, Karis Bavely. Team Siva 30 for 2. So 30 for 2. Pavely at the crease. Johnson to continue down the ground. This is a excellent over, and what's going to be overall excellent power play as well. Ended the over 31 for 2 after the power play. .31 for 2 after the 6, so the end of the power play, signalled there by umpire Amy Clark. So now 4 fielders allowed outside of the circle, and to continue from the pavilion end, Sophie Morris. So end of the power play, 31 for 2, and I think it's time now to really kind of address where they are in terms of the chase, and you would certainly say Siva are behind what is required. They would have wanted at least probably 20 more. They have on the scoreboard the Duckworth Lewis score, which I suppose possibly we should really mention because of the weather that's around. Grey clouds. Obviously we don't want to be sitting here all afternoon and end up having no play after any rain that arrives, but it gives you a nice indication of roughly where a side should be. You know, in the short format with big hitters to come, obviously that can then change fairly quickly, but 52 it says compared to the 32, which gives you a nice little indication of Siva just being slightly behind where they would like to be, and also a point important as well, 2 down. Charge from Spence, but again just at the moment struggling to put the ball away here, finding the fielders inside the circle. Good fielding as well from Brunt. There again. All the time, this is just ramping up the pressure on those batters at the crease in the middle, and also yet to come. They're watching this in the Siver dugout and they're thinking, well, by the time I get in, I'm going to have to go for some big shots pretty early. I wonder if actually there's maybe a few conversations going on about the batting lineup. Forward comes Spence, gets to the pitch of the ball, and a great shot straight down the ground for 4. Excellent set from the opening batter. Great shot for 4, bludgeoned down the ground. Maybe that 4 at the end of the previous over has just awoke in this batting lineup. Pavely, pure power. So consecutive 4s, 40 for 2 after 7. Johnson to continue. Fielder goes back onto the boundary. Long off. The onside and a single. Good backing up. Johnson in again. Spence very straight. The fielder was pushed back. And then long on. Comes across to stop the boundary. Cries of come on Jono from the fielders. Grace Johnson bowling. Oh, and bowls her. Slight inside edge as well. Pavely going for a big shot. And Siver now 3 down. Karis Pavely goes for 7. And the score for Team Siver now 42 for 3. New batter for Team Siver, number 6, Emma Corney. So Emma Corney then at the crease. Nearly off the mark with her first delivery. 3 down. Alongside Jemima Spence. These two opened actually for Team Siver in the first match, but change for the second brought better fortune. Here they are, running through for a quick single after the first, did say misfield. Still been an excellent start for Team Brunt. End of another over. They're ticking by as well. 8 overs gone now, and it's 43 for 3. .43 for 3 after 8 overs. Sophie Morris to continue from the pavilion end. Sophie Morris to continue from the pavilion end. 43 for 3 after 8 overs. A further 119 then required. Wonderful sweep. It's just going to be one, though, cut off by Josie Groves down there doing the fielding. Sounded fantastic as soon as it hit the bat. Beautiful echo around the ground. But 2. Spence on strike down the ground, which she's done a couple of times. Again, it will be Groves. They're not going to come back for a second. I feel at the moment this could be quite an important partnership still to come. We've got the likes of Scott and also Darcy Carter, especially, you'd say. But they need to get into a position to then hit. You don't want to be coming to the crease with only 60, say, on the board, or 55, needing over 100 runs. They want to be coming in needing, even if it's still the 61, 62 required off the final, say, 5 or 6 overs, that's still within their capability. Need to get to that stage, and they lose another wicket, and it's Jemima Spence who goes, well, the wickets are tumbling here now, 4 down, and Brunt on top in the final. What can Siva do? .48 for 4, Team Siva. Jemima Spence going for 16. And the new batter for Team Siva, Lizzie Scott. So Lizzie Scott now to the crease, as we thought, actually. And, well, 48 for 4. That old pendulum I keep on mentioning, firmly towards Brunt at the moment. 114 required, and it was the end of the over as well. So 9 overs gone. It's Johnson to continue. And they're going to take the single there. It was slightly awkward for Heap, who ultimately I think has actually done fairly well. Could have easily gone through her. 49, so still yet to get the 50. And we're approaching the halfway point. Huge appeal, and she has to get back into her crease. Lizzie Scott surviving. Massive appeal, but Julia Jarvis motionless. Johnson has bowled very straight. Katie Jones standing up. Scott on strike. Excellent work from the keeper. So the 50's up, 50 for 4. But still just coming in singles. $51 for 4. And they're going to be needing over 100 runs in the final 10. And it doesn't take Einstein to work out. It's a fair amount, over 10 and over. And end of the over, 52 for 4 at the halfway stage. At the halfway point of Team Civer's innings, 52 for 4 after 10. So 10 overs to go, and a further 110 runs required. Change of bowling for Team Brunt from the pavilion end, Katie Donovan. Change of bowling and Donovan in. Good hands in the field. 110 required. It'll be 109 now. So Civer will have to go some to get near this. And the equation is quite simple for Donovan. Kind of a change of plan as well with being in his position. No real risk. Just don't want to give away any extras. I mean, you don't want to anyway, but nice and straight, nothing too risky. Fielding very well, and if possible, force the error from the batters who are going to take some risks. There's another example, just again, regulation, delivery, but that's what you need now. Very easy in this position, actually. Talk about the batting side and what they need to do to try and get back into the game. But when you're on top and you're the bowling side, you can't just relax. Very easy just to drop your shoulders, think you've maybe won the game already. Good stop. They're going to come through for a single, but that went very quickly to Kira Bowden. Again to Bowden. Very lucky with a throw at the stumps. Backing up exceptional from Groves. Donovan in again. Beautiful strike. It's going to be cut off. Good hands. Manny Anderson quickly around. And the good fielding from Team Brunt continues. Even when the ball goes through the covers, it's going to be cut off. After 11 overs, 59 for 4. Change of bowling for Team Brunt from the Paula Radcliffe and Riva Pindoria. Wicket for Pindoria. Stays slightly low. Batter walks across the stumps and Brunt are turning the screw. 5 down, Siver, and with plenty to do. Fifth wicket down now, 61 for 5. Lizzie Scott goes 4-5. New batter for Team Siver, Darcy Carter. Now Carter to the crease. 61 for 5. Still with batting to come, but I think we're maybe drinking in last chance saloon here. 101 runs required. So I'm looking at the run rate, but also those wickets left. Carter now, big hitting Carter. Off the mark with her first delivery. And if Siver are going to win this final, they're going to need something special from Carter. She delivered yesterday with a fantastic 40. Quick run. She will need to be supported as well. And at the moment, she's got Emma Corney, who's on 11. And she will need to be there as well. Carter on strike. Long on and long off. On the boundary, deep mid-wicket as well. Through for a single, so Carter will retain the strike. "12 overs gone, 64 for 5. Katie Donovan to continue from the pavilion end. So Donovan to continue, Carter on strike, 12 overs gone. .98 required. Carter on strike, down leg side, great half stop by the keeper. Thought she grabbed it actually, Katie Jones, but keeps it down to just the one. That saved certainly 3 runs. Turned away. Just be... Oh, no, they're going to come back for 2. No, they don't. Carter's going to be on strike then. 94 runs required. If they're going to go, they're going to have to go soon. Yes. At the moment, it's all Brunt. It's got very dark all of a sudden as well. Lights have just turned on the hockey pitch. In comes Donovan. Carter watches that one go. And that's going to be an extra. It goes wide. Carter looking around the field to try and spy the gaps and see what's wide. Anything through the covers could go. There is a point's gone out onto the boundary. Someone's just put an umbrella up on the far side. Don't want to see that. Deep backwards square. Long on and a long off as well to Carter. Chips into the leg side for 1, and Brunt will not mind the singles, but especially when Carter's on strike, they won't mind them singles at all. especially just to get her off strike, actually, to be perfectly honest. But 70 for 5. Met on the full and pulled for 4. Good way to end the over, but they need more boundaries, Siva, if they're going to get close to this target. Boundaries who finished the over 74 for 5 then, after 13 overs. River Pindoria to continue from the Paula Recliffe end. Now Carter on strike to Pindoria. Thought she was going to go big then. Going to try and come back for 2. Good running from Corney. I just got an idea that Carter's going to go after Pindoria here. First of all, she needs to, in the situation of the game, but she's going to really try and take the attack to Pindoria. Eyes on Katie Jones behind the stumps as well. Anything missed, those bails will be whipped off very quickly. This could be the game right here. Pindoria in bowls. Carter goes back. Should come through for a second. Good call and run again by Corney. Good length from Pindoria at the moment, not allowing Carter to get to the pitch. Through for a single. So far a good over from Pindoria. Fielders scattered down the ground, none of them needed at the moment. Corney on strike. Straight back to Pindoria, who takes a cracking catch. Brilliant from Pindoria, fantastic over. And she gets a much deserved second wicket. 79 for 6. Corney goes. .79 for 6, and Emma Corney goes for 18. The new batter for Team Siva, Millie Taylor. Six down now, 79 on the board. Millie Taylor, certainly strike a ball. Turns it behind, comes through for a quick single. Quick yes call by Taylor. Through for a single. Carter, should I say. So Carter to face, I think it's the final delivery actually of this over. Genuine edge just for the single, so she'll retain the strike. But overall a good over. .80 for 6 after 14 overs. big shot down the ground from Carter. 6 runs, much needed 6, and they need a fair few more of those. So a huge 6 from Carter, but more needed. Taylor on strike. Missing out. In goes Anderson again. High, and it's going to be another 6. So this is what we know can happen with Darcy Carter. 2 6s in that over. Just starting to accelerate. More needed, but if it carries on like this, it could get very close. .95 for 6 then after 15. And a change of bowling returning from the Paula Radcliffe end, Josie Groves. Now Josie Groves into the attack. Millie Taylor on strike, 23 already to the name of Darcy Carter. 95 for 6 after 15, 67 then required. And a rotation of the strike will bring Carter on strike. Now then, fireworks in the previous. Groves versus Carter. Field spread. 66 runs required. So roughly 2 a ball. She nearly split the fielders there, but she will come back for second. Carter eyeing up the big hedge. Far end of the ground. Straight down the ground. It's going to be stopped. So just the single. Good fielding down there. It's Ellie Anderson who was bowling the previous over. Including a long off. Taylor on strike. Quick single. All the fields. Bring up the 100. So 100 for 6. 62 then required. Balls left at the end of this over. Carter tempted to go big. Just with a single. So Millie Taylor on strike once again. It's very delicately poised. Millie Taylor down the ground, chipped. It's going to land safe, and she'll keep the strike. End of the over. 102 for 6 after 16. 102 for 6 after 16 overs. A further 60 runs required. Change of bowling here. It's going to be Liberty Heap into the attack. Just sorting the field out. Taylor again on strike. We're going to bring Donovan up into the circle. So 30 balls remaining, 60 required. Call of yes. Now Carter on strike. In the hands of Carter. I think the game rests on her shoulders. At this stage, 29 balls remaining, 59 required. She's on 27 already. Heap to Carter. It'll be a single. Brunt will be happy with that. Carter on strike. Banged in short from Heap. Quicker delivery as well. And again, just the singles. Brunt won't mind that at all. 56 required. Go for caught behind. Keeper, not entirely sure what else that hit if she heard the noise. Katie Jones. End of the over. 17 overs gone, 106 for 6 with 56 now required.
Yeah, I was just thinking, talking about that as a fourth office championship. It was like, yeah, netball's in its final, this is hockey's in its last match. So it's just tennis and dwindling as each day finishes. What's going now? Yes, we've got Harmony of that Martin on there this morning. It looks good. Yeah, they've been sending pictures and videos around. Yeah, yesterday. Well, then they practiced the day before. Yeah, they did more than that. Yeah, they just like the flat skills. Today they went Derby. So they're not here. Cycling's a road race. That's in Storston. So they're on side.
Huge wicket, stumped Carter, and that could well be the game. Kept on mentioning it was Carter versus the bowler, but keep your eyes on Katie Jones, and it was Katie Jones behind the stumps who has done the damage there. Carter goes for 31, and the score 108 now, but runs required 54, and I think that's the game walking off. 7 down now for 108. 108 for 7, and Darcy Carter goes for 31. New batter for Team Siver, Poppy J. Watkins. Rain starting to fall slightly here in Loughborough, and wickets are also falling. 7 wickets down now, 108 on the board, 54 required, but Carter now back in the changing rooms, and it looks like it's going to be Brunt's 2022 score games. Started with a defeat, very narrow defeat to Team Knight. And then Team Knight actually didn't qualify for the final. Siver started with a defeat then to Brunt in the second game on day 1. Then it was all change around on day 2. Brunt beat in. Sorry, Siver beat in Team Knight. And then Brunt beating Knight in the playoff. Two overs to go. Liberty Heap to bowl. Comes through for a single. And again, at this moment, it's just a matter of playing out these final few deliveries. On the live stream, there will be coverage of the award ceremony that'll take place after the game. Give or take, say, 10 or 15 minutes just to set up the cameras, etc. And of course, if you're watching to this live stream today and you missed out on days 1 and 2, you can go back and watch days 1 and 2, not only at the cricket but also all the 10 sports here at the School Games 2022. Been a fantastic, once again, 3 days. They really do fly by as well, the games, 2 games a day and the final on the Sunday. Perfect format, all 3 teams mixed up from players all around the country who are playing for all the big clubs, all the big franchises. And as we've seen over the years, lots and lots have gone on to play international cricket. 4 runs there, lovely reverse sweep. Ball through mid-wicket, could have come back for a second. Yeah, been a fabulous tournament once again, and we've some good weather yesterday. Slightly cold on the first day, but today I think we could put it down as we've kind of gotten away with it, because I think there's going to be a lot of rain this afternoon, and there was quite some heavy showers before play, but actually during the game, that's a lovely reverse sweep for. It's not going to go for 4. Good fielding, even though the game is pretty much over, still putting everything in. Excellent throw as well. Yeah, so we had rain before the game, we've had drizzle during the game, and then I think there's going to be rain afterwards, so perfect timing really. Keeping again. Half an appeal. And end of the over, 1 over to go. $121 for 7 after 19 overs, so 1 more over to go. 41 runs required. 121 for 7. And to bowl the final over for Team Brunt, Sophie Morris. So Sophie Morris to bowl the final over, Team Brunt. Successfully defending their total. 41 required for Team Siva. Five balls to go. Will be Jay Watkins on strike. Rocks back. Pulls it square, and that's excellent fielding again. Really has epitomised the winning side, although a slight confusion of who's going to throw the ball in. Seren Smale out there. That's a round of applause from Team Knight. So the final members of the final of the school games, 35 required. It's going to be Team Brunt with the win, beating Siva in the final. And smart once again from Casey Jones behind the stumps. Quite fitting, she takes a wicket again from behind the stumps. Still with a delivery to go. It was her stumping Darcy Carter which really signal the end of the game, but another wicket goes. 8 down now, Siva. Millie Taylor goes for 18, and Team Siva 127 now for 8. New batter, Sydney Gorham. So a ball to go here. Gorham on strike. Comes down and another wicket. Stumped again by Katie Jones. I mean, that's 3 stumpings for her in this final. And that's the final act. And it's a win for Team Brunt. They're the victors of the 2022 School Games. And only fitting that is Katie Jones, who stumps the final wicket and the final ball. That's 3 stumpings I make it in the final. And a win then in the final of the 2022 School Games for Team Brunt. I'm sure everyone inside the Hasselgrave Stadium would like to give a big round of applause for both teams. Let's hear it for Team Siva! And once again for our victors, Team Brunt. Now the presentation ceremony will take place in the next 15 minutes, so stay where you are, and we'll be setting up stages for the 3 teams, and also plenty of awards given out away from the players on the field, and that will commence again quite shortly, around about 15 minutes time.
When you come to Loughborough, there's so many different sports that we have on offer, whether you want to compete or whether you want to play recreationally. But our competitive side, we have our AU teams, so we hold taster sessions, so you can give things a go. And then if you want to, you can trial for the team. And then if you're successful on the team, you buy a membership and you compete for Loughborough in that sport.
Loughborough has been phenomenally successful at Bucks. Bucks is the British Universities and Colleges Sport Championships. So we have over 60 clubs that compete and train week in, week out. Thousands and thousands of students take part in the athletic union, and they all love to wear the kind of African violet purple shirt with pride and represent the university against other universities and against the best clubs in the country.
The buzz you get on Wednesday nights, the Bucks nights, just running out in front of all your friends, it's just a real buzz, walking through that tunnel, getting onto the pitch. Playing for Loughborough makes me feel really proud, just seeing the people that have been there, worn the shirt already, and what they're doing now. They're playing for England on the weekends, they're playing for the professional clubs.
Each athletic union club has their own student committee which help to run and facilitate their sport. It's really important for us that student development is just as much at the heart of what our athletic union clubs do, as well as the actual playing of sport. Everybody gets to use the same facilities here on campus. It's not like we've got facilities that are only for elite people or only for beginners. We all use the same facilities, tread on the same pitches, and we've got staff that are available to make sure that your experience is as good as it can be. We have an incredible array of coaching staff, performance support staff, so things like physio, strength and conditioning coaches that are always on hand to help people learn, develop and improve.
So the AU at Loughborough is just like completely different from any other university. The competitive side of it is really supported by the uni, and like the social side as well, alongside the competitive teams. Everyone seems to really be invested and come to support Loughborough when they're playing.
Loughborough will give you an incredible opportunity for sport, whatever your interest is, whatever level you want to be part of, and really have that life-shaping journey through university. This is the place that you can really develop and learn and enjoy yourself as well.
Hello, I'm Ali Oliver, Chief Executive of the children's charity, the Youth Sport Trust, and I'm really excited to share our new strategy with you, inspiring changemakers and building belonging. Children only have one childhood, and worryingly things have got really critical for their health and happiness. We are staring in the face of the next pandemic, where children are spending too much time online and not enough time playing together and playing with their friends. Unhappy, unhealthy children don't learn. When children don't learn, they don't achieve their potential in life, and we end up with a society that isn't fit for purpose. Sadly, this isn't new to us at the Youth Sport Trust. We have spent 27 years building brighter futures through the power of play and sport, changing lives for the better by getting young people active, playing together, and experiencing the joy of movement. At the Youth Sport Trust, our vision is a future where every child enjoys the benefits that come from play and sport. And now there's never been a more important time for us to focus on this. Our strategy sets out to tackle this. Over the coming years, we'll harness the power of play and sport to help young people find a sense of belonging and raise awareness of the damaging impact of a life without play and sport. By helping young people feel a sense of belonging, we'll stop them being isolated, lonely, feeling anxious and bombarded by others constantly telling them how they should look, feel and be. We really need your support. A 4-year-old entering school this year will leave in 2035. They deserve a world where their health, happiness and well-being is prioritised. We're on a mission to try and create societal change, but we can't do that alone. We need a whole range of new change makers, teachers, families, young leaders themselves, politicians, the media, a range of people in public life who are equally concerned about the health and happiness of the next generation. So please join us, become a change maker, read our strategy and help us build a brighter future for young people through play and sport. Thank you.
There's so much respect for Loughborough because it generates good players but also like well-rounded people, and I think being here for 4 years I've really realised how much it's developed me as a person, not only as a badminton player.
The fact that it's on campus really helps with your sport because you've got the best facilities in the UK here, right at your fingertips.
So parasport is integrated through almost all of our offers at Loughborough. Of course, there are some sports where we need to have specialist provision for some para athletes, but overall, most of our programs are highly integrated so that you have disabled and non-disabled athletes able to train alongside each other. We've got fantastic facilities, fantastic coaches, fantastic support staff. Our alumni network extends throughout professional sport, and what that creates in the end is a Loughborough family, which really is there around you and supporting you as you move through your journey.
As a scholar, I get free physio support, so I can see physio whenever I like and it's for free. I get free S&C, so I have a strength and conditioning coach that works with me and my coach. Then I can see a nutritionist, which again, he ties in with my strength and conditioning.
It's all quite individualised, so the coaches will sit down with you and discuss like what you want out of the programme, what are your priorities, and they'll build a kind of a schedule that will suit you and your needs.
It makes everything easy because they all talk to each other, and then they can talk to my coach, and then everything's just in one place. And so it's just, it's ideal, to be honest.
One of the things I'm proudest of is that the average marks of our performance athletes are higher than the university average almost every year. We really care about people's degrees, and we support them and make modifications to both their sporting programme and their education programme so that they can genuinely do both.
The reputation of Loughborough, it's there for a reason. It's known as the best because it is the best.
So our facilities are fantastic, and it's hard not to get blown away by them. But the thing I would really sell us on is the environment, the culture and the people that you'll be around. People genuinely trying to be the best they can be. We've got people competing internationally across all sorts of sports, and you can't really fail but to be motivated and inspired by that.
Okay, welcome to the presentation ceremony for the 2022 School Games. Once again, the #1 sport here at the School Games is the cricket. Now, first of all, with these medal presentation ceremonies, we're going to have plenty of awards given out before the medals for the players. But I think just a big round of applause for everyone involved, including volunteers, including officials, including players, including myself, including James over there with the music. Just a big round of applause for what's been, again, another fantastic cricket event at the School Games. Now I'd like to introduce you to two very special people who are going to be giving the awards out. Emily Reynolds, the National Programmes Director at the Youth Sport Trust, and Jade Winley, the Athlete Mentor. Now, across the School Games National Finals, we've been welcoming your nominations for the Best of Sport Awards at each of the sports. Now, the Best of Sport Award recognises one athlete and one volunteer for their contributions and how they embrace the School Games values. Those values that I've been mentioning over the last few days: determination, honesty, passion, respect, self-belief, teamwork, and now eco-friendly. And I'm delighted to present now the Best of Sport Awards, with special thanks to Loughborough University and UCAD for contribution towards the prizes. Now, out of all the nominations that we received, there was one volunteer and one athlete that has made a significant contribution to the Games. Over the page. Now, the volunteer. The most hard-working volunteer I've seen. So friendly and helpful too, always asking if you're okay and working away with a smile on his face. Thank you for all your help. You make everyone else's job much easier. First in, last out, every single day. Please step forward. Ashok Katesha. Ashok, a very, very popular member here, a dual winner. And now on to the Athlete Award. Now this person is a fantastic team member, always full of energy and positive vibes. She always displays great determination as a cricketer while showing respect for coaches and opponents too. She epitomises the School Games values and has fully embraced everything that the Games has to offer. Now, I say she because the name has been written down here a few times. That would have given it away. Please step forward, Rachel King. So there's been plenty of help around the field, just outside the main entrance with all the security, obviously volunteers as well. But there's been plenty of help out in the middle. We've had two umpires for all of the games here at the School Games, and it's Julia Jarvis and Amy Clark. Please step forward. And now on to the team awards. Please step forward the team who finished third in the 2022 School Games. Team Knights. Now, I think it's the first time, actually, in School Games cricket history that we've had all three teams winning one game, losing one game, and it went down to run rate, etc. And Team Siver getting through to the final by winning that round-robin competition. But they come second in this year's competition. Please step forward, Team Siver. Emma Corney. Jemima Spence. Amu Saran Kumar. Karis Pavley, Lizzie Scott, Maddie Ward, Millie Taylor, Darcy Carter, Sydney Gorham, Poppy J. Watkins, Hannah Hardwick, Lola Harris, and Captain Florence Miller. Our winners, who were beaten in the first game on day one, but have turned things around and were fantastic victors in our great final here today. Team Brunt. Please step forward. Jodie Grucock, Seren Smale, Lexi Cantrell, Liberty Heap, Kara Bowden, Katie Jones, Josie Groves, Katie Donovan, Emily Geach, Grace Johnson, Reva Pindoria, Sophie Morris, and stepping forward to receive her medal and also the trophy of 2022 School Games winners, it's Team Brunt and Captain Ellie Anderson. Once again, your winners of the 2022 School Games, Team Brunt. So Team Brunt, the winners of the 2022 School Games, but I'm sure everyone here would like to give another big round of applause, please, for everyone who works here at Loughborough University. That includes the ground staff. Of course, we've had a little bit of infrequent weather today and also on day one as well. So a big round of applause for all volunteers and all staff here, also at Loughborough University, who have provided such a great playing surface, changing the wicket between, obviously, the games as well, between the days. So a big round of applause for all of them. You can see out there in the middle, working hard straight away after the games for the ground staff here at Loughborough University. And for the final time, your winners, Team Brunt. Now, if all the teams congregate together, Siver in the green shirts, the far side, the black shirts of Team Knights, the white hoodies, and in the centre, the navy blue of the winners, Team Brunt. These photos over the years for when the three teams get together at the end of the competition, it's getting to the stage now where it's a bit of a who's who of who's playing international cricket. Many, many familiar names over the next few years will be picked out from these photos. So at this stage, yes, if you'd like to walk forward, all the parents, carers and guardians, if you'd like to walk forward and now take your photos. This is the pose, this is the photos that you want. So as the sun comes out, finally on finals day. Lastly to say, it's been a tremendous competition from myself and from James over there. Thank you very much. Have a very safe journey home, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the sport here on campus. And congratulations to all of the winners. And let's face it, we're all winners here at the cricket.